It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show, Espresso on SABC3. Hey, it's officially December and summer is taking full effect across the country. You can feel it everywhere you go, which means that the holiday season is here. Now, the chances of meeting someone interesting while we're on holiday they've totally increased around this time of the year. And the thing is, a lot of people would do and would love the idea of having a little fun with a summer fling. And that's why we're asking this morning, have you ever had a summer fling? The relationship architect, Shelley Lewin, is in the building to help us discuss this hot topic. And we'd love to hear your questions and your comments. So go onto our Facebook page, drop a comment on this post, and we'll engage with you live. Shelley, what a topic, but also perfect timing.
Yes.
Oh, summer flings. First question, have you ever had one?
Oh!
Didn't see that one coming. Okay, I won't ask that question. But, Shelley, what is it about summer and the holiday season and just being on holiday that makes people, feel free or perhaps pursue the idea of a summer fling?
Well, I think that, first of all, summer brings with it the energy of expansion and growth. And then you add that to holidays, which is all about relaxation and taking your foot off the accelerator. Yeah. And you have all this freedom and liberation because your time is your own. You're not, you're not meeting deadlines. So all of those conditions are absolutely perfect to do something for new adventures, new possibilities, new experiences.
Yeah, and I suppose that's what the holiday season is about. It just opens people's minds and hearts up to that sort of possibility. But the word fling, it's got an energy to it. It sounds very flirty and playful. Why do flings, for those who've had them, feel so good? And what do they do to the body and the brain?
Well, when we fall in love or in lust with someone, your brain actually gets flooded with neurochemicals called dopamine and oxytocin, and they actually are associated with the pleasure and reward center in your brain. So it's a little bit like the rush that you would feel. You have this high, this rush, similar apparently to when you take drugs. And so what happens is you have this rush and you experience this sense of trust and calm and security, and your body goes into this state of de-stress. You actually don't feel pain when you have this flooding that happens in your brain. So your body, you have this mood of calm and, you're totally chilled and relaxed. So it is very enticing, that feeling. People become addicted to that feeling.
That. Yeah. When you say enticing, and that's true, but why do people feel so enticed over and above, how their bodies and their brains may feel as a result? Why would, after a long year, why would it be just so enticing to just want to kick back and get into something like that?
Well, I think that often what happens is that by the time the holidays come, you're looking for a new experience. And I think that many people, when they go on holiday, they like to reinvent themselves. They become the person that they wish they were. Yeah. And actually, it's almost like a chance to have a whole other avatar, another experience of another life. So you get to experiment and to play and try different things. So I imagine that would be probably one of the reasons.
This is such a hugely interesting topic, but the thing is, a lot of people do find themselves where they haven't got the distraction of family or work, where they actually do step into a summer fling. But of course, summer flings are exclusive to people who aren't already in relationships.
Let's just be clear about that.
Let's just be clear about it. Don't you go out on holiday now and then say, Shelley and Teresa and Espresso said, go out and have flings. But it's a hot topic. We want to hear from you. Any of your questions, get them through to us. Summer flings, what do you think of them? We'll discuss a little bit later on, just looking at how flings can turn into a bit of seriousness. And if you find yourself in a place where what was meant to be a fling develops into something else. We'll chat about that a little bit later on.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Your favorite breakfast show to wake up to, your feel-good breakfast show, Espresso Morning Show on SABC3. It's Monday, so we're talking relationships. Today, the relationship architect, Shelley Lewin, is in the house, on the hot seat, to help us discuss and unpack the ins and outs of summer flings and holiday romances. And we'd love to hear your questions and comments. So on our Facebook page, Espresso Morning Show, do drop some of those. We'll engage with you live on air. In fact, we've received some. We've got one from Dion Kamogelo Malepe, who says, "Morning Espresso, lol." What an amazing topic. And it always starts with a lol. What an amazing topic. The stage I'm at now, I find summer flings quite fascinating. It works well for people like me who are still trying to find themselves and to live a little, as long as you can bump into it in the name of fun and without catching feelings. However, it turns out it won't hurt. It's a topic to discuss indeed. That's one. Humphrey Tutekana says, what you do if it's meant to be a summer fling, but then you end up catching feelings? That's a question. What do you do? Catherine Dladla says, what are the signals that it's not a fling anymore, that it's changed, it's elevated to something else? How would you know how far it's gone and if it's gone far indeed? So, I mean, these are some really important questions to ask about summer flings. Shelley?
So where would you like to start?
Let's start where, how do you know if it's no longer a fling?
Okay, so, well, you know, that's quite tricky because you have all these neurochemicals, which we spoke about earlier. So, so you're already feeling very connected and excited by the person. Yeah. So I would say what you want to do is to figure out that you want to start talking about home, back home, and life, real life, and see whether that person expresses an interest in that. So, you know, are they interested in who the real version of you is and not the holiday version of you? And then if you want to try and arrange to meet them, first you also want to double check them on social media that who they say they are, the person that you're meeting. So as many different platforms as possible is a good way to evaluate whether the person is who they say they are. And if that all checks out, then you can see, do they have eagerness and enthusiasm to meet you back home? And if there's urgency for them and they're keen and they want to meet you, then maybe make a plan, but be cautious as you would with any stranger, you know, in a public area, in any other setting. And then when you do meet the person, you've got to then start to figure out whether there's a compatibility. So, you know, whether that you meet the person on the bus, on the beach, on holiday, wherever it is, there's a process to figuring out whether this person is a good match for me. Are we aligned? And I would say that you do that through having conversations, spending quality time together, getting to know the person in real life, and their, you know, compatibility is really about, am I going to be a good fit for you? Based on what excites you, how you spend your time, who the people are in your life, how you spend your money, how you use your energy, all of those.
I mean, I was listening in the conversation earlier on, so I decided to join because I'm single and ready to mingle. I just want to know the T's and C's of summer flings. Like, why is it a good idea not to prolong the romance?
Well, you know, the premise of, if you think of the summer fling, it tells you it's temporary, it's recreational, it's casual. So if you go into it with a long-term mindset, like a committed mindset, someone's going to be disappointed. You know? So I think that as long as you have two people with very different expectations, and for many people, the expectation of holiday romance is that it's going to be casual. So you've got to be careful that you don't assume that even if you're feeling these overwhelming feelings, that the other person isn't. And you can still have overwhelming feelings and it be casual. It's just intense and short-term.
And it's about making sure that those kind of conversations are sort of clear for everyone, that they understand this without going all heavy and hectic on it at the same time.
I would be very wary if someone starts to do oversharing, like declarations of love, and you've known them, then I would say you're stepping into dangerous territory.
Okay, so of course, you have to be safe. We have to keep safe all the time. So for example, it's become quite common for tourists to fall prey to scams of people acting or presenting themselves as people to have a
They have shows about that, you know.
There's actual shows,
so
what must people look at?
So I would say that the whole idea is that people are targeted to be, they're primed and seduced and romanced, and then suddenly I love you and I can't live without you and I've never felt this way about anybody before and you're so special. And people that want to feel that.
Yeah.
They want to believe in the Hollywood story and that love at first sight. And so then they get lured in, and slowly they get lured into sharing their personal, private information, possibly handing money over for something, or, you know, I mean, the moments that, and I love you so much, but my mother, I can't visit you because my mother's sick and dying. If you would help me get to you and give me the money. So I would say you've really got to be cautious in that way, because there really are a lot of unethical people who make a living out of targeting and scamming. Yeah,
That's
scamming
basic.
tourists.
Yeah, this is what
people on holiday.
Scammed by romance.
Yes.
Scammed by the idea of romance. This is such a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much, Shelley. I mean, we could go on and on about it. But of course, we know that the holiday season is the perfect time to kick back and relax. If you are single and you really do want to feel the feel good that does come sometimes with these summer flings, go out there and explore it. And of course, you have to be safe at all times. Protect your mind, but protect the physical as well. And it's something, a message that Shelley is always advocating for: safety no matter what. Summer loving had me a blast.